As you can tell, we spared no expense on our special effects for this little video. Hey, it's Pastor Langdon, and I just want to thank you for being willing to serve in this way, making our cafe possible. Our entire church leadership thinks this is a really big deal, what you're doing. We think it's really important because it's not that you're just making some coffee. You are creating a welcoming, friendly, kind environment that makes a really big difference. I mean, think about how scary it actually could be to come visit a new church and you're wondering, hey, are they going to accept me? Am I going to fit in? Are they going to welcome me? I have literally had people come to me and say after cafe, man, that spread you put out was so amazing. It made me feel so welcome. It's even more than that. I mean, Jesus in the Sermon on the Mount talks about those who welcome the stranger in. And when we create this friendly, grace-filled environment called cafe, we're doing that. I have seen important ministry happening at cafe. I have seen people meet for the first time and friendships developed at cafe exactly because someone like you put in the time and the effort behind the scenes to make it all possible. So it's huge what you're doing. And so before we get to the details of how to set stuff up, I just want to paint the big picture for you. And so there's just 4 things. The first one is basically this, which is go for the gold. You know, let's make this an amazing experience for people. Go the extra mile. You know, our attitude shouldn't be, hey, if it's half good done well enough, who cares? I mean, it's just us. It should be, I've got really special guests coming over to my house, and so I'm pulling out the good china. So when you do little things like put out flowers or arrange things in a playful manner, those things really matter. It really creates a wonderful environment. The second thing is, though, having said that, choose being friendly over being perfect. In other words, if you're so stressed out because things aren't going quite right, that you're uptight and you're frustrated, that's the drink you're giving your person who comes. That's what they're going to taste, not the coffee. So don't get too wigged out if things go wrong. Instead say, hey, this isn't so much about the coffee, it's about this person in the room, and so I'm going to make sure they feel comfortable. If you do that, that's much more important than if everything is perfect and everything is in its place. Next thing is this, though, over communicate. And that's both, we need to do that for you and you need to do that for us, so that Sunday morning doesn't have to be a stressful situation. So if you get in a jam and you find out you can't make it, let your team leader know as soon as possible. Don't leave any communication vague. Make sure it's clear, everybody knows what's going on. When in doubt, over communicate. But that applies to team leaders too. We don't want you to show up, get halfway through the work, and then have a team leader come and go, oh, no, that's not the way we're doing it this Sunday. So team leaders, if there's anything that's different, if there's anything that's out of the routine, it's your responsibility to make sure your volunteer hears about that. So just give them a call, email them, do whatever it takes. And that brings us really to the third thing, which is how you experience this matters too. In other words, yeah, it's going to be toil for any job we serve at the church. You know, there's going to be hard work. But we don't want you to be so frustrated that you're like, man, I don't want to do that again. If there's something that we can do to make cafe even better for those who volunteer, if you have an idea, let us know, because it may be somebody else is having that same experience too. And we want this just to be a beautiful blessing for everyone all the way around. So thank you so much. What you're doing is helping us be the church we want to become.